It began with laughter. My parents' laughter, the kind that filled every quiet corner and made the walls feel like they were closing in on me. "Your sister just needs to stay at your place for a while," my father said, brushing it off as if it were nothing. I smiled, tight controlled, and replied evenly, almost with amusement, "Funny, I haven't lived there for 6 weeks." Silence. Mom's voice shook. "Wait, then where exactly have you been staying?" That's when her smiles vanished. 6 weeks earlier, I had still been living in that apartment, my apartment, with my husband, Daniel. He used to joke that it was ours, though I'd paid the down payment, chosen the furniture, even picked the paint he liked to mock. We'd been married 3 years. It felt longer, not comforting, but the kind of long that stretches on after arguments you didn't start, yet still apologize for. My sister Lila used to visit. Too often. She claimed the apartment felt like home. She'd linger late, sipping wine, asking Daniel for advice on her career, her dates, her life. Back then, I thought it was sweet. I thought they were family. But living with someone teaches you to notice the small things. How Daniel's eyes lingered on her laughter. How her perfume hung in the air long after she left. The sudden inside jokes that never included me. And then the slip. One night, Daniel muttered her name in his sleep, soft, reverent, like a whispered prayer. I didn't explode. I didn't yell. That's what guilty people expect. Chaos, confusion, noise. Instead, I smiled quietly and began gathering evidence. His passwords, emails, messages, even the ones he thought he'd deleted. Betrayal isn't poetic. It's methodical, time-stamped, full of receipts. Dinner reservations, hotel check-ins, all disguised as client meetings. And then there was Lila. Her texts were worse. She called in my secret, complained about pretending to be normal around me, claimed they never meant for it to happen. The classic line. Lies that just fall out of mouths like accidents. So I planned, not revenge, justice. Revenge is messy. Justice is precise. First, I moved out quietly. I told Daniel I needed a week with my parents to clear my head. He didn't ask why. While he was at work, I packed everything that was mine, documents, jewelry, photos, my grandmother's ring, and left. Then I called my lawyer. Daniel didn't know I'd kept our finances separate. The apartment was in my name. His name was on nothing. I rented a small studio across town under a friend's lease. No one knew. I watched from afar as they assumed they'd won. For 6 weeks, I let them live their fantasy. Lila moved in to help Daniel. They redecorated, posted smiling photos, captioned them with words like healing and family. I didn't comment. I didn't block them. I wanted them to believe I was gone, defeated, heartbroken, irrelevant. Meanwhile, I was building something. My lawyer quietly filed for divorce. Irreconcilable differences. Clean. Calm. Then I contacted Daniel's HR department, attaching photos of hotel stays with timestamps overlapping supposed business trips. Company policy on personal conduct was strict. He lost his job within a week. Lila didn't know. She found out the same day my lawyer sent her eviction notice. Which brings us back to the living room, to the laughter. My parents had invited me to dinner, warm and apologetic, still thinking a family meal could fix everything. Lila just needs a place for a while, Mom said between bites. Daniel mentioned she's been staying at your apartment. And that's when I said it. Funny, I haven't lived there for 6 weeks. The silence after that was surgical. I watched realization crawl across their faces. Slow, cold, merciless. Mom's fork clinked against her plate. Then I cut her off. Doesn't matter, but I do know she's moving soon. The apartment's under new management. A tremor of something like pity flickered in her voice. You mean? I nodded. Eviction notice went out yesterday. Daniel, too. The building doesn't allow illegal occupants. She stared at me, half in disbelief, half in fear. You planned this? Of course, I said. They built their lives in my home. I just pulled the foundation. I didn't stay for dessert. I left them sitting there, just as I had left Daniel and Lila, surrounded by the remains of their comfort. Later that night, I drove past the apartment one final time. The lights were on. Boxes lined the windows. Raised voices. A suitcase abandoned on the curb. I didn't stop. 6 weeks ago, I might have cried. Tonight, I rolled down the window and let the cold air fill my lungs. People think revenge is about getting even. It isn't.